Yep, I see it.
Nice. All right, let's see what we got. All right, let me delete a bunch of stuff so we can kind of look at it together a little bit. Not a lot of volume these past 2 days. All right, let's take a look at this one here. So here's the monthly view. Like on 12 here, just so I can see it. So this is your monthly view, and if you guys just look, anyone see anything important building up on, let's say, 2 months and portion of this one?
POC maybe?
AOC is one of them. Okay, anything else?
Is that a poor high?
Maybe, yeah. All-time highs, yeah, certainly. This poor high, yeah. There's a ledge. You can mark this as prior all-time high and poor high.
Is it we're gonna go to that low value node?
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Around
very high chance that I think you're talking about maybe somewhere around
yeah,
here.
yeah, around the value area. High.
Yep, yep. So when you think about the SIGs, right? Just gonna reset it so you guys can see it. So developing value area is set somewhere around 68.33. Sometimes today I was talking about having this one go about, I think 802-ish or something like that, and that was coming up right around here. I think they're gonna do that here shortly. Right at 805. So I wouldn't be shocked if that's kind of where we are headed right now. What I would suggest that you guys do is take a look at the volume distribution of these 2 months, right, to make sure that that also checks out. So here's this. I'll just hide this for a moment so you guys can see it. Say change this guy to 68 because it's too far. And here's this guy right here now. And you could extend this all the way here just from the kind of value and where we were, right, inside. And this is where you're coming up right now in the zone where you what? Is this a spot where you guys want to go long?
No.
No.
Not at all. This is totally opposite, right? If you guys remember when we, discussed it, I don't know who was on. We talked about September value area low, right? We said, come on, give us that, and then we promised that we would close the longs and get out right here. You guys recall that? We were looking to close everything here, and then most likely, if they're to reclaim, I think it was a level we had of 14 at some point here that there were a high chance they could run it. But here, the reclaim of that, I would say first SIG enabled it, to go to the opposite side, and that's what they just tapped to a penny here. So I would be very careful here, long side. I'll be very, very careful, and let me see what happens if I go higher. It's about 37, but that doesn't make sense just because this is, a nice split. So I'll be very careful long here, and even potentially look above this area and fail. I'll probably look for some SPY puts again, right? Because right now they're just, and maybe if they close above this somewhere, let's say close about 20 or 22, like give it 20, 30 points. They close above it, man, we could close it then, right? But otherwise, yeah. 4 hour, 30 days, full send bearish. How how close is it? Let's see. I'll bring it up. Log it in. Yeah, and it makes sense, right? Because you also have some critical, say you have this value area high of the couple of months, right? That's kind of sitting there. So I wouldn't be shocked if we struggle a little bit here. And the volume that we've seen so far, I mean, just look at it here yourself, is not really great, right? So as we're going up, the auction slowing down, right? I know this is just the start of a new day, but even this volume here and this candle don't really check out. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens, but I would definitely carry this level here, and I would mark that bottom sig as well. I'll just put a first sig here, and then you can definitely close this, and this is your developing. We'll mark this one as dev. And this one's not going to change much. Ideally, if they get rejection here, it might shift down maybe a little bit, but let's see. So on the monthlies, is there anything else that you guys see?
Sorry, where'd that first sig come from at 41?
It just starts right here. Where's my vertical? It starts right here. September 16th.
Oh, okay. That's cumulative of the
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah. Because you're in a balance. Okay, so we have that. So I'd be very, very careful along here, right? And I see SPY. It's almost there on the weekly. Has a little bit to go on SPY. If you look, I'm just checking something on my other screen here. Here, I'll bring it over so you guys can actually look at it as well. Let me just detach it. So the green cloud is my weekly cloud, and the top cloud right here is the daily cloud on SPY. And if you guys look, we bounced off the bottom here of the daily and monthly mid, and good bounce, right? So I would not be shocked if they go for 678 and we reject here, guys. I'll probably be looking for some puts on SPY as we approach this level. Let's see. Yeah, I'll probably do the same. I hate when they do this. Just look at this. I mean, 68.40 would be golden. That's also November dev value area high, right? That's what we just kind of looked at. I think it was. No, it wasn't. I think that was the LVN that we had. I'm sorry, earlier. The 68.40. So it's kind of right there. Let me see. And this wasn't even a pullback, what we just recently had. This was just a little drop in the bucket. Yeah, it could be going 63.49, but it depends if they break this or not. Man, that full send today in 15 minutes was brutal. 66.76 and just rocking it from there. And you said you have a bearish full send in 4 hours? Yeah. That one is usually good for. That one usually is good for a couple of points. Meaning good payday here potentially. Box, yeah. You told me how, but I probably forgot. Yes. Yeah. I don't even see it. Oh yeah. Got what you told me last. I think it was under. Uh, yeah. Okay.
So when it says full send baby, how do we know up or down?
When it's up above it, like when it's on the bottom, like this one here, that's bullish, right? When it shows up on top, that's bearish. So like on top, it's bearish. On top, bearish. On bottom, bullish. Oh,
So in theory, that should play out below 65.25.
correct. Well, what do you mean play out before, below it?
Okay. Maybe I've worded that wrong. Like below it, like it would.
No. Just the sign. Like if the full sun shows up on top, it's bearish. If it's on the bottom of the candle, it's bullish. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that, I mean, yes, if you're to complete this, but third wave is usually, I would say this completed, the third wave is the longest, so you should be able to, you can figure out where it would go from here, right? So it'd be about 62.90 that we're targeting.
Holy crap!
That'll be the next level. No, third wave is always the longest. Correct. That's quick. Yeah. So 62.90 makes sense. It lines up perfectly with weekly bottom to a penny.
And this is will probably play out within the next month or so, or maybe sooner.
I would say by January.
Okay.
Allows to go there. Yep. All right. Well, let me take a look at that. We see what we got here. RTH here. Here's actually a. Let's see here. Don't do that. But, yeah.
30s in the
No, but this is about to come down, guys. This is about to come down like 7-8 points. And they ran it quite a bit the past couple of days. All right, so let's go ahead.
Shorty, you mentioned today if it doesn't go and test the single prints, probably we are going to see an all-time high before the holidays set in.
Yeah, so I think, if they're able to crack this zone right now, I would say they're most likely going about another 100 points. If they can crack this, I would say there's a high chance you go here. Most likely you're going to have some sellers show up here, especially if that happens before November month end, right? And then you would have, poor high here. I wouldn't be shocked if they actually execute that one. But if I remember, let me just check the candles here. I mean, I think we had a channel here, if I remember, somewhere. Yeah, wasn't it something like this that we were looking at one point? So it'd be interesting if they do come up here to November. That'll be a nice retest of it, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to get over this 809 with Nvidia collapsing, I guess, but Google's picking up the slack, so they're flipping the script a little bit there. They're seeing the writing on the wall, maybe for Nvidia.
And then how? What is the probability of this the elite wave and the full sense to actually happen? Is it how strong is it?
The one that we just saw, it's pretty closed. The cloud's pretty closed. So when I say pretty closed, I don't want to deceive you. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to build a chart over to you. All right, how many more charts do I have? So if you look at this one, for instance, I'm just going to hide. This one is also the daily. We can hide it. This is the monthly, weekly, and I'll enable the monthly here. So the monthly cloud's this one here, which is purple, and that's what they're holding on to right now. So it doesn't really, it's not playing a role right now. They can get choppy between 6840 and about 6700. That's their choppiness level. But if you look at this cloud right here, which is the weekly, that one is closed nicely, right? That one is closed about -12 or so. And I consider that, doors are shut. There's really low chance you're just going to crack this. So I would expect this to, come to this level and take a nice little beating from there. So about 100 points away from 6840s or so.
Just like there's money shot.
Yeah, it's beyond close. I just don't want to making sure that people don't get overconfident. So typically
do you
when the
mind
cloud is
explaining?
closed, I do go heavier on the puts. Last time we had this, I think I made 100 grand the next day.
Nice.
So
That would be the bearish money shot, correct?
that is correct. Wow, good job. Who said that?
Me.
I don't recognize. Is it LeBron?
No, Pacheco.
Oh, okay, good. Pacheco, that's very good. I'm glad you recognized it. Yes, that's a bearish money shot, and it's actually pretty close, guys. And last time I think I got a honey bun. I got 100 spy puts. I think I paid $8,000. I sold them for $104,000, and like on a Monday.
My God.
Crazy.
So I'll probably do the same over the weekend. Just telling you, but that's my risk, and I'm willing to risk $4,000 or $5,000. And that correct. Yeah, Friday they're gonna pump probably 40 points, so hopefully they pump to 6840. That'll be good. Yeah, that would be ideal to play it out. And
Short,
then
big
we
question.
can take a look at we can look at SPY and see what that relates to in terms of levels. But the closer you are, capture the delta. That's probably good.
Hey, Shorty, what is the whole -12 thing you said? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so it's a combination of MACDs, right, and some other logic in there that defines how closed are the doors, the cloud. You see the color shading between like this cloud right here, and then this cloud right here. Like
Yeah.
you see the line right here. There's a nice line right here that basically separates the
Yeah.
cloud. So whenever a cloud is closed, most likely it's just not going to go through it. The cloud has to be open for the price to actually go through it. And for instance, this was one of the spots where you see how we went in, and you see, I would just say, pay attention to this setup right here. And pay attention to this setup right here. Do you see any similarities?
Well,
And the cloud's closed.
What does that mean?
It doesn't go
yeah, it
through
confused me.
to the other side.
So it can go this way. It can't go from here out.
Oh, oh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let me show you one. Wasn't it AMD that gave that perfect shot when we took it long? Yeah. Okay. I think it was here. All right. So here's one that, if you look at AMD here, I guess I still have it circled. This is where, I re-added some AMD on shares is they went below the cloud and then they reclaimed it. Let me see if I can get I don't have a 3-day on this screen. But here, let's see. So here's this class. So take a look what happened here. And I'm sorry if this is too much for some of you guys. You see how they were below the cloud right here? And then they claimed it, and then they went to the middle, which is normal. You go to the middle, but as soon as you come back to this area where the cloud is closed, you're actually not going to go through it. And typically when you defend this, your first target's here, second target's here. And I mean, so that's actually pays pretty well a lot of times, right? And then the same thing here on the bear side. I mean, here it's almost perfect, right? They came inside the cloud, they struggled, the cloud closed, they came in, and then they rejected, and eventually you're going to come and tap this cloud perfectly. And you see the perfect tap. And then, of course, you're going to go to the cloud, you're going to reject it, you're going to, wait till it opens. Open, they consolidate it right below the cloud. And then you're going to go and run it, right? And then you have a bullish money shot that happens. A bullish backdoor, I'm sorry, not bullish money shot. Right here, you have a bullish backdoor happening right here. Another one happening here, but when it cracks, it's going to be nasty. And what do you know? You closed it and you went to the bottom again. And then it just keeps going in between and in between forever.
And what do the numbers go up to? Is like -12 to -25 or positive
There's no-
15? Like what is it? What would it? How
There's
do you
no
know what the
really
limit is?
limit to it. It can go up to -100 to 100.
Okay.
And over, I consider it like on the 4 hours over -1 on 4-hour cloud. And if you guys, let's say QQQs, you look at Qs, and I'll give you guys something here. For instance, I'll change this. I will change this one to 4 hours just for purpose of showing you something. Do 1 hour. Let's hide this guy here on the weekly.
So would you say if you have shares in certain companies, and you're profitable, you'd probably want to take profits before this sell-off?
Sometimes it's also good to sell calls above where you're willing to let them go. I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that a
true.
lot, right? So I usually hedge that way, but I'm not saying you have to do the same. Yeah, but here's, for instance, if you look at Qs on this one, if you let's look at one that moves quite a bit, like Tesla. So here's Tesla. You know, they came, clouds closed. I guarantee you Tesla's going to go to 430 here. I don't know when, but pretty certain it's going right here. Maybe tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. It completed the whole cycle, went up, came down, and then proceeded to go. And this is just 1 hour, 4 hours cloud. So that's like intraday cloud. But this one, you know, if this one is contained, price will not go. It has to break 4 hour cloud in order for price to proceed higher, right? And here, obviously, they're probably targeting 680, which is the level that's pointing on a lot of spots, you know, for a bearish position there. So, and there's, for instance, let's see, not GI, yeah, GI is pretty good. Let's take a look at Adobe is gonna die. I closed it. I don't know if you guys seen Google AI and what it's capable of doing, but it's pretty scary.
You look at TTD, please.
Yeah, I should for sake of my portfolio too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why does it keep hiding? Ah, here we go. See, change this guy to monthly.
Someone asked what expiration price for the puts.
January monthlies.
Shorty, you use the clouds on TradingView the same way as you do on Thinkorswim?
100% the same. 100% the same way. So let's see what we got. So the weekly is kind of balancing out right now. It's trying to, but there's some major buying here, Todd. There's some stuff going on here.
Yeah.
There's stuff going on here. And I would not be shocked if you're patient enough. This is our sell point here. You can weather the storm, and there will be a storm at some point, but this is your sell target. So 3 times the money on this one. I'll wait. I'll sell
Yeah.
this.
Because
Unless
I remember you mentioning below 35, you would cut it.
I would, because then high chance will go to 20, right?
Yeah.
And then I would just take the hit there, right? $4 a share. And then
Yeah.
I would reload, because to manage the average and the drawdown between here and here, like 35 to here, that's
That's a lot. Yeah.
a lot. I don't know if I would do it. So if they cut, then yeah. But to me, you know, let's say they reclaim 54. This is where they struggled last time. And this is identical setup that AMD did. So once they're able to reclaim this, this is off to races, man. This is going to be ready to fly.
Yep.
What is the
Mhm.
What is the likelihood of TTD going to 20? Why are we looking at 20?
20 is a quarterly bottom. It hasn't been a quarterly bottom since ever, I guess, since maybe inception sometimes. I don't know. So if they decide to do that, I mean, that's a no-brainer, honestly, at 20. So I would cut, let it go down by 20 with both hands, and then make up the loss and some more. But it's going to go eventually to 122.
Yeah, I was looking at a 35 to 38.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good level, right? It's a pretty good level. And, you know, even on the daily today, look at the Ashi candles. I mean, they're screaming, slow down, slow down, slow down. So
Yeah, exactly. It's been
getting
down.
at least from here, I think you can catch 54. Like here, I think you can get 40%, honestly, with your eyes closed on TTD. So we'll see tomorrow. If it makes higher high tomorrow on the daily, Tom, I'm probably going to add the same amount. I think I have like 100K or so on it.
Yeah.
If you have
I'll let
Can I
you
ask
guys.
you another one? Can you just
Say it
take a
again.
look at LYB, Lyondell Basel?
Has some trouble. Once it clears 60, it's gonna double.
Yeah, this is the one. Crack spreads are moving up.
Really?
Yep.
What is this company?
Remember, Buffett bought the petrochem business from Oxy, right? So
Oh, okay. Oxy was at an interesting level a few days back. Here's Oxy right now. And Oxy just reclaimed monthly. So if you guys remember earlier when we talked about a setup, does this ring a bell? So you go below the cloud, you reclaim it, and now you're basically holding on to it right now off the bottom. If you like oil,
Bullish money shot.
this bullish money shot, I mean, you can target 60 from here easily. So, and that would be another. I know people are like, man, that's only 40%, but ask anyone that does this for a living. 40% on a stock, in a month, 2-3 months. You know, think about it. On $100,000, you need 3 trades, and you make people's salary, right? So,
Yep.
it's quite a bit of money, right? This is at a very good spot. I was actually looking at it the other day. And they have dividends. So. All right. Well, when it comes to I have some Oxy. I'll probably add some Oxy. I don't know if this whole war crap is out yet or not. Oh, very good very good for a while. All right. Well, let's see what we got here on the daily. So, was there any clues that there's a spike coming today?
of them.
There's
I mean, the L made a
L made a higher high.
and the L made higher high, so you really had you had 66% chance to be right. So if you took this break, let's say around 3:30 with some, I would say, I don't know, SPX calls, pretty sure you probably could have made a couple of 100% on this. Even if you take one for $100 and you make 300%, that's a pretty good odds, right? Ratio to play with, guys.
You went to 22 $1 one.
$1 to 22.
Yep.
God, that's a pretty good ratio. I would say that's pretty solid.
Shorty, I didn't understand. So what was the clue to see if you
So
get
whenever L period makes higher high compared to other periods, M period 66 or 68% of the time follows and makes higher high, which means spike.
got it. Understood.
Yeah. So this period right here. So this is your, this is your 3 to 3:30, and this is your 3:30 to 4 period. So it's just a statistical play, right? It's almost like if you knew 66% of the time it's going to land on the red. I mean,
Yep.
you'd be foolish to bet on any other color.
Hey, Shorty, is that going to be in the new PowerPoint?
Yeah, that is in the new PowerPoint.
Awesome. So when would you enter that? As soon as you see that it's a higher high?
No. Here you enter on the break. Because I'm pretty sure if you're late 1 second here, like let's say if you entered maybe here, you probably got the best deal. I know it's 4 points, but the IV jumps in between. But even if you entered here, we can find out, right? On SPX, how much they moved. Let me see if we have it.
So if you're in L period, you would enter on the break of the.
Once the M starts, you enter it. Let's see.
When would you enter? When the
On
M
the-
starts?
On a break of L period, I would enter. Let me just see SPX at around 330. Well, I can do the.
Basically, you're saying when M period breaks L period, right?
Yep. When the
And
M
then-
period breaks L period, yep.
When the M period breaks L period, but when the L period makes a higher
Makes-
high.
That's correct,
Yeah.
compared to other periods, yep.
Perfect. Got it.
Golly, why did I pick yellow color on this? So that was right here, which would mean at 335, right? So at 335, SPX was around 670, 6760. So let's say you played 6780. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. How much they moved. $67.80. All right. You guys know how to chart options?
Nope.
Nope. No.
So here's the option chain that we were questioning. So at 330, this one, I'm just gonna go on like something like 1 minute so we can see it. So at 330, these were 14 cents. 67.80s for today. They're at 14. Let's say you could have grabbed these at like maybe, let's say 20. Moments after that, they went to 75 cents and the high was $1. So considering, let's see here. Well, so at 330, they were at, what is this? I can't see, 70 cents. And they went 1000% in 30 minutes. So $70, you could have made 200 really with ease right here when that happened. And then you could have made 1000% shortly after. Which ones were you talking about, Cap, that moved? I'm assuming
I think
60s.
it was 67.40. That was the one I got kicked out earlier this morning. And it went down to $1 and then it jumped to 20 something.
Yeah, we went to 40 almost. Yeah, we went to 36. So let's see. At 3 o'clock, these were about 8. Oh my God, that's crazy. So at 3:30, they were trading 20. They went crazy. So that went pretty good. But I think 67.60s had the best payout at the time. Yeah, 67.60s definitely. So if you had these, you grab them at let's say at 4, they went all the way up to 17. Pretty good, but I guess if you're looking for a lottery, 67.80s were pretty nice. You're talking about 20 cents to, $20 to $100. That's 5 times your money.
Yeah, today SPX was crazy. It was giving out money hands and fist.
Yeah.
Shorty, can
So-
you explain that breaking portion of L period and M period again, please?
Yeah. So each period, as you know, is 30 minutes, right? So L period in this case made higher high compared to the rest of the periods. G and I had, I would say, equal highs or poor high. When the L period makes higher high or lower low compared to the rest of the periods, if it was bearish. So right here, it's telling you there's a 66% chance that something's wrong with this drawing tool. There's 66% chance that there's a spike coming, meaning right here. So what you do is then you just take, the SPY SPX levels, right? And then you just, I would say you can double this range from here to the top, and you can find, what to target. So if you think about what I'm saying here, so if you take a look at this, there's 19 points. So typically what I would do is I would take this like 19 points, same measure, and it should look like something like that. I don't know what's going on. Why can't it's like 2 hours or something. So very close. I mean, I think off by maybe what, quarter point. And that's how I determine what strike to kind of play in a lottery as well sometimes, if I don't want to put a lot of money in it.
Shorty, how did you get that 19.25?
So you take the consolidation, the range that it's consolidating in, which was here. You have 2 taps and a high, so we know that's the high, right? And then if this is the low, right, that means that there's going to be some single prints here. So you grab that low, and then you say, well, if you break this with the poor high and you have an L period, then I expect you to do the same range from here to here. And that's kind of what they did.
And I'm guessing you would trail just in case on this, because obviously spikes you can't predict.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be quick, right? And then typically I would only do it on my desktop because I have a setup where I can be in and out within 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, it fluctuates like $20-$30 in a second.
Yeah, I mean, typically you want to have a active trader on if you're on Thinkorswim, and maybe I can do a class on Thinkorswim if you guys want. At least show you how I trade the setups or how it's set up that I trade it. Because it does come down to a little bit about speed too, right?
Of course.
Especially if I'm playing, last, I would say, I don't know, 20-30 minutes.
Last 10 minutes sometimes.
Yeah, last time, and we have people here that are actually very good at it. I don't know. I think I saw Dirty. He's on a call. He's actually pretty good at it. He's learned how to trade it. But this is kind of the setup that you want to have.
Shorty, I have a question for later. I mean, after you get through this, about something from earlier today, just to understand if there's something I didn't see or it was just not my probable trade.
Sure. So this is the setup, right? You load the contract and then you're able to play here on the right and kind of go pretty fast on the DOM, right? And I can show you guys. I can show you guys the screen if you guys want sometimes when we're trading the last 10 minutes instead of charts, and kind of show you how it shifts. Okay, if you have it posted, and it's a pretty valuable setup, I would say, in terms of making sure you're in and out. Because, typically if I get in for, let's say, if I take 10 contracts at $50, $500, I'm going to sell all of it at 4. I'm not going to wait for it to hit 36, or maybe I sell 9, keep 1, and then trail maybe at 200. But I would not keep it, $3,000 in 10 minutes is pretty good for me, right?
Yeah, stop loss doesn't work.
Say it again.
Stop loss does not work during that.
Yeah, you'll get tapped and probably be a lag of like, I don't know, a slippage probably 50 more. So,
yeah, I got killed every time I entered unless I did a limit sell.
Yeah, slippage is pretty heavy. So for tomorrow, what I would watch, right? So we do have the spike. I want to see where do we open compared to the spike. We closed, I would say, right here, somewhere right at the POC, 67.69. 67.81 is the settle. So I would keep this aligned tomorrow and see how we trade around this. right? So you have the spike and you have the settle price. So you're gonna have some people show up there tomorrow. Look for opportunities for long, right? Let's see. So if we lose this spike, let's say tomorrow, that might be interesting, right? Because then you most likely are going to go, I would say a very high chance you're going to go 67.55 where you have some single prints. And for a lot of you that sometimes are confused, this is really nothing here. That's just poor structure. You're interested between these two levels, right? That's kind of your zone split for today, right? So if you look at this and go in 30 minutes, you'll notice that now it has to refresh. You know, from the class that we talked about, you have to have 3 TPOs wide, right, for it to be considered a distribution. You definitely have it up top, compressed distribution at the top, and a spike typically means might be, you know, and when you close, I would say below the spike, well, here you almost did. If they lose that tomorrow, very high chance you're going to be going to 67.55. You know, they're going to find some buyers of this 67.69. But I would say very good chances that you're going to be at 55. So for me, spike rules play tomorrow. I'm going to play with them as well.
And then you would look for longs at the spike base or the settle price?
I would look for longs if we open above and they reset the inventory, meaning if we're net long overnight, which I think we are, yep. So we're net long, inventory's long. So I am pretty certain they're going to reset this inventory either here or here. At this level, this is pretty good long. If they fail this, they're gonna flush it.
So just tight stop on that spike base if you take it long.
Yeah. I mean, you want to minimize it, right? And even if you're wrong and then they reclaim it, then you can attempt it again, and that's probably a better setup, right? Where they reject below it and they reclaim, that's a good sign. Then maybe they go higher here. But I will play it tight stop, first stop, and then reclaim. Then you will have a low to play with, right? If they set a low and then reclaim, then you can use that low to help you. But so far, I mean, this is in terms of structure. They decide to crash this, it's going to be quick. And this is a level, we're coming up to this level that we talked about even on clouds. This is pretty aggressive if you ask me. This is pretty steep slope.
Honey bun time.
Honey bun time, yeah, there you go. Well, I think I'm going to do that on SPY. SPY has closed weekly on top. So I'm probably going to play some Mondays and Januaries tomorrow. But I don't know if anyone's in any shares like Pine or Jack, but they're all doing great. Jack had a monster run. I don't know if you guys are in it or not, but it just exploded. Well, look at you. Yeah, this one had a massive run. So as we get to 21, probably not a bad idea. Look to see if you can find some options if it's liquid enough. Sell it. Pine was gorgeous. I mean, Pine from here to here, you're above 30% if you got it. So it's headed right here, and at this point, you can do whatever you want, right? You can sell maybe 22 calls for February and collect some money, right? If you get a sign, you get a sign. You just let them go. But Pine did pretty good so far. But Snap is just, I guess, it's just doing nothing at this moment. But it is at a level that we triggered along before, right? So this is an interesting level on Snap for shares. It's actually a pretty good level for shares. So I would keep an eye on this. Oh, man.
Sure. When we're expecting a steep sell-off with all the 4-hour close cloud at the top, what would you do on your long positions of stocks?
I typically sell calls, right, on my long-term stocks. I
But you
typically
still hold on.
sell. Yeah, I hold on to it like for Intel. I'm not gonna sell it. I mean, I'm just gonna sell a bunch of calls to somebody. Last time I collected, I think about $68 a contract, and I bought them back up for $1. So I typically just keep doing that. And I mean, if I get a sign there, that's great.
Can you take a look into Clorox?
Yeah. Probably be the last one because my eyes are shutting down as well. Oh, that's a good looking candle.
Looks like they reclaimed that monthly imbalance. They left them 2 months.
I mean, ideally, we want to see them close about this. Like I would
You'll
say,
see.
let them close about 110. I mean, then it has a chance probably to go about 132. So you're looking at something like this.
I was thinking it was going to go around 90, 95, but it bounced from 98.
Probably because of LVN, right?
Yeah.
Because of LVN.
Yeah, there's an LVN there, obviously.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
I mean, but the only thing is they did sweep this low here, right? This low here is pretty good low because this is the low that caused the imbalance, right? And now they reclaimed pretty high odds that this is gonna. Okay. All right, guys. Well, let me see. I don't have anything going on tomorrow, so I'll probably trade in the morning and then go from there. I do have to make some money this week at some point, considering the expenses I had.
Thank you,
All right.
Shorty.
Thanks,
Good
Shorty.
night.
See you guys.